Awesome, listen up, please. What I'm doing here, guys, this... Wait, stop. Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Don't do that.
Not crazy, we're observing.
No, you know what I'm talking about. All right, basically, this chicken right here, if you looked on the package, it says that it does not include the giblets or the neck. If you would have those included, they would be either in this opening or this opening right here. And it would be in a package that maybe kind of looks like that, but this is just to soak up juice, okay? So look for those, and then basically you can rinse your bird to clean it out. I just won't do that so I don't have to walk all the way back there, but you can rinse the inside of the cavity with water, the outside with water. You're good to go. Now, what I would do after that then, basically I would take a look at the bird and I would try and figure out, now how would this be if this bird were alive? Okay, it would be, its legs would be down here, wings would be up here. So where would its breast be? It's important to know where the breast is. Head would be here. Okay, where is the breast?
On the bottom of the bird.
Here?
No.
Or here?
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, breast up is how we want to work, okay? So if you think about how the bird would be, you can kind of figure out where the breast would be. All right, so like you saw the guy in the video do, basically you look for where there's kind of a flap of skin, where the leg connects to the body of the bird. And you just cut straight down in. Okay, and you can do that on the other side as well. A lot of that sound you're hearing right now, guys, is just a little bit of ice that is still in there. Not a big deal. Okay? Now what you can do, you can feel where that thigh joint is on the other side, and this is where you're going to pop that joint out. Okay? So you can see right there. And you can hear it on the opposite side as well. Okay? Now, where that joint came out, where that joint came out is where I'm going to cut down.
Is this where you look for the line? Yeah, you look
No, not yet. Hold on.
No, right now.
Be patient for just a second.
Okay.
Now, what piece do I have right here? Ooh.
The hind quarter.
This is the hind quarter. You got the leg and the thigh
It's gonna be
together.
smaller for me right there.
Okay? So I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Cut the hind quarter away from the rest of the body.
No.
Okay, so you could either leave it as the hind quarter, or like you saw him do in the video, you can look for that line that nature gave you, which is right here, that line of fat, and that would be where you would cut to get the leg apart from the thigh. And sometimes it's right on, and you hit it right away, and other times, like I just did right there, you don't quite hit it. So you can kind of take a look, go in there, and move until you get to the spot that you can cut through easily. You can see that I just was off slightly. And you can see that white stuff. What is that white stuff that I just cut through there?
Cartilage.
It's like cartilage, okay? It's part of the joint and it's easy to cut through. So then you have the leg or the drumstick, and then you're left with a thigh as well. And you can do that for both pieces. Okay. Now for this, you're going to cut kind of straight down the center, and there will be what they call a keel bone or a breastbone in here, and you kind of want to go down to that bone. And you'll feel when your knife hits the bone. Yeah. Okay. So now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my knife in here a little bit sideways and just run my knife along the rib cage of the bird, peeling away that breast meat as I go down. Okay. And then once you get down so far, you'll notice the joint for the wing. And you want to find the opening there so that you can get around that joint for the wing. Okay, now what we have right here then is the breast with the wing attached, and this is all of the light meat or the white meat, okay? Now this part of the wing, pretty much not very useful. This is good for stock, and a lot of places will remove this part of the wing and then maybe leave the rest. Depending on the size of the bird, this part of the wing isn't very useful either because there's not a ton of meat. This would be good for stock as well. And if you, like I told you, an airline breast is something that is kind of important in the food service industry. If you go to culinary school, they'll probably ask you to break down a chicken and have airline breasts. And what you typically do with that then is you will remove those first two joints of the wing and get rid of those, okay? Leaving just one of those joints left behind on your breast. Now this is good for stock, you can still use that, okay? But this right here is a typical airline breast with that first piece of the wing left attached, okay? The other thing I wanted to note in here is that you will see this, you guys see how this breast is kind of separating apart right here? This right here is a true chicken tender. This is the tenderloin of the breast. And so this is kind of the true chicken tender where you'd have like a breaded chicken strip or something like that. Obviously you can use the rest of this too, but this is kind of the perfect size for that. And it kind of just breaks apart from the rest of the breast. So that's one way of doing the breast. And then obviously if you want to, you can pull that skin off of there to have boneless, skinless chicken breasts if you cut that wing apart. I'm going to cut the wing apart on this one. So then I can go, you see this piece of bone here and the piece of cartilage that's there, you can go along the other side of it and then just do this side the same way. Okay, so the carcass you're left with here, I mean, there's pieces of meat on this that you could pick off, but honestly, it's going to give good flavor to your stock, so don't worry about leaving that on there. That can go into our stock pot. This right here, if you want a full wing, then you can come back in and you can remove that wing from the breast. Now, if you're going to leave the wing full, they talked a little bit about the fact that you could tuck it. And that's a good thing to do. Do you remember why?
Yeah, it will burn.
Yeah, if you leave this little thin piece of the wing hanging out there, it'll burn. This way, if you tuck it together, it's a larger mass of chicken, and so it will not burn those little pieces that are sticking out. It kind of keeps it together as one, so you can tuck it. And again, if you want a boneless, skinless chicken breast, then you can just pull the skin off of this breast. And there again, you can see that tender that kind of breaks apart. You can leave it on there if you'd like. Either way is fine. So there's your boneless, skinless chicken breast. So that's pretty much breaking down the chicken. I'm going to stop for a second.